This is Greg Penglis for Action Radio with Founding Moments, insights into our founding documents, sponsored by Santa Rosa Volunteers here in Santa Rosa County, Florida. Santa Rosa Volunteers is available at their website, SRV1776.com. That's SRV1776.com. Federalist Paper number 8. Alexander Hamilton continues his obsession with posing fabricated scenarios in order to try to scare we the people into thinking ratification of the Constitution is a good thing because it will remove the possibility of his fabricated scenarios ever coming to pass. The pattern over the course of several Federalist Papers is to claim that if the Constitution isn't ratified, then the several states will go into separate factions, probably go to war, and then some foreign power will take us over again. That's how the standard argument from the Federalists goes. Alexander Hamilton begins the first paragraph with this: assuming it, therefore, as an established truth that the several states, in case of disunion, or such combinations of them as might happen to be formed out of the wreck of the general Confederacy, would be subject to those vicissitudes of peace and war, of friendship and enmity with each other, which have fallen to the lot of all neighboring nations not united under one government. Let us enter into a concise detail of some of the consequences that would attend such a situation. Quite an assumption. It's so big an assumption, his whole paper is based on it. So in reality, Federalist 8 is based on nothing. The second paragraph is so preposterous, I can't believe it. Hamilton argues that war between the states is all but inevitable without the Constitution because, unlike Europe, we don't have permanent standing armies keeping world peace. However, any study of Europe will reveal a couple thousand years of wars going back to the Romans, hardly a stellar example to inspire the population that the Constitution will keep the peace. Hamilton seems to have overlooked that the Constitution had only 2-year appropriations for the army, so it would have no permanence of a standing army. If the Constitution is supposed to prevent war and illegal competition between the states to the detriment of the United States and our freedom, why would Hamilton want standing armies of a European character, having just thrown off the standing army of England? He actually contradicts his own argument by saying in the second paragraph this line: the disciplined armies always kept on foot on the continent of Europe, though they bear a malignant aspect to liberty and economy, have, notwithstanding, been productive of the signal advantage of rendering sudden conquests impracticable, and of preventing that rapid desolation which used to mark the progress of war prior to their introduction. Did you catch that part about armies? That they bear a malignant aspect to liberty and economy? Malignant? As in sickness and death of liberty and economy? What we fought for in the War for Independence, all for the sake of what? Peace? Or stability? So what exactly does Hamilton want the Constitution for, if not to protect liberty, commerce, and therefore private property? My contempt for the Federalists grows every time I read one of the Federalist Papers, and I realize that they are really elitists who don't care about individual rights, economy, property, the individual states, our self-defense, or even we the people. What Hamilton really wants is a stable national government ruling over the states and the people, with a malignant standing army to keep him and his elitist friends and colleagues in our nation's capital safe from foreign invasion and safe from what they actually appear to fear more, which is rule of them by the states and by the people, which is supposed to be the entire reason the Constitution is created in the first place. If the Constitution is really just the opposite of what we've been told, that the Federalist writers and proponents actually wrote and sold to this country a Constitution specifically designed to protect the national, not federal government in Washington from we the people, then everything we've been told about the Constitution is wrong based on what one of the writers of the Constitution, Alexander Hamilton, is telling us about the Constitution in Federalist Paper number 8. Let me conclude the quotes with this one sentence where Hamilton appears to try and tell you, after saying that standing armies are malignant and can take your liberty and economy, he makes this one conciliatory statement that the people really have nothing to fear from his standing army, because even though standing armies can and do deprive domestic and foreign populations of rights, resources, and property, Hamilton says it can't happen here because the army isn't big enough. He says, "The smallness of the army renders the natural strength of the community an overmatch for it, and the citizens, not habituated to look up to the military power for protection or to submit to its oppressions, neither love nor fear the soldiery. They view them with a spirit of jealous acquiescence in a necessary evil and stand ready to resist a power which they suppose may be exerted to the prejudice of their rights." Well, that was then. Nowadays, the military is huge. But the real standing army is the federal bureaucracy and all their armed agents and soldiers of departments like Justice, the FBI, the ATF, the IRS, and all the thousands of heavily armed agencies and agents ready at any time to enforce totalitarianism while still proclaiming they are protecting democracy. It's time to disarm, disband, and defund the standing army that has become the standing bureaucracy, and for the same reasons as the army only has a 2-year appropriation. Maybe the agencies and departments should be operated with the same restrictions. The source for the Federalist Papers is federalistpapers.org. The Anti-Federalist Papers are from selfeducatedamerican.com. The Articles of Confederation are from usconstitution.net. This is Greg Penglis for Action Radio with Founding Moments, sponsored by Santa Rosa Volunteers. Their website, SRV1776.com. That's SRV1776.com. Please share this report to anyone who needs it.